Hello, hello. What is going on? It is me, Jay Renard, and we are live. It has been quite a while since I've gone live. Had a fair amount of things going on, and I'd say most of it was good, some of it was bad. I guess some things neutral. And hold on, I'm getting a whole bunch of glitchiness. You know what? Let me close all these background things. Hopefully that straightens things out. Hopefully it's not so glitchy. All right. So, real quick update. Starting at the beginning of the month, starting getting a lot more involved with markets and farmers markets and pop-up events, and that's been pretty positive. I mean, the events haven't been very large, although the results have been positive for the size of the events. I'll say that much. So that's good. But the earlier in the month, I got the news from my cousin that my aunt, his mom, had passed away, and for my family, inside of about 8 months, there's three people who had passed away. One of whom was my cousin. I wasn't able to get to those funeral events, so this one I knew I had to get out there because you can only miss so much, you know. And went out to the West Coast for that. Um, didn't get to see too many people because my family were all just spread out to the winds, but we did come together uh, for the celebration of life for my aunt, so that was good. Or rather, it was good that we got to get together. And had a lot of talks, a lot of stuff going on with my dad. Just catching up and seeing where he's going. Um, but long story short, just based off of what's been happening in the family in the last couple of years, um, there's a very high likelihood that I am high risk for any manner of cancer. So I have to start doing a lot more or being a lot more proactive on that end because the people who did catch it, or rather who were diagnosed already at stage 3. So got to be very much more proactive about these things since it's looking like it's starting to be in the family. Outside of that, again with the pop-up events, that's been pretty positive. We got some new dyes in, new techniques learned, new things coming up. One of the things that I made, maybe it was February. I have to go back and check the posts. Were one of the things was this here. So this is I would say it's a large tote bag, but I don't carry handbags, so I'm not sure what's considered small, medium, or large. But this one is, I believe it's a Horween. The straps are not. I can't tell. Oh man, I've been looking for this the whole time. That's a holster. um, and so the initial design that I was using had this pocket in there that looks like it fits properly, but in actuality, it's just a pocket that sits there, and because it holds together here, but there's all this extra material. This pocket doesn't stay nice and neat like so. it just flops there, looks kind of useless. And truthfully, it's really easy for somebody to get their hand in and take something. And I didn't like that. So I wanted to update the pocket structure. So this is prototype one for these large bags or seemingly large bags. And this is the second version. So I went with a different color. So that's what we got going on here. And because I knew this was going to be a prototype, it wasn't going to be something that I intended to sell. I used a piece of the hide that did have some blemishes. So you've got this here, which is just, I don't know, a deep wrinkle or a crack. It doesn't look like it's a scratch. Maybe it was a defect during the tanning process. And the same thing here on the opposite side. There's some blemishes, probably from the animal being in the field, or there's some scratches right there, and that's just how it tanned. And some of this here was from my build process, these little bumps and whatnot. But again, I was making this because I knew it was going to be a prototype. But what I did do, oh, also, I was going to cut straps for this that were the same color, but I felt like singular color straps or matching straps was kind of boring. So I went with the two tone and also with the copper rivets, same as before. Can you get a focus? There we go. So those are the rivets there, and show it on the other side first, or also rather. And there, good stuff. But I am most happy about the fact that I got the pockets or the inner pocket straightened out. So I'm going to be using this style from now on. And for those who know me, you know this is a big stretch for me. I hate doing zippers, hate them with a passion. But for this bag, I did the zipper for the inner pocket. So I cut off the excess because it wasn't necessary. And technically, this is flipped backwards. So before, the opening of the pocket was on this end here, and this longer part was against the bag. So when I made the zipper pocket, I made sure I put that here, flipped it under to form the pocket so that things can go in there, and the zipper works just fine. Hopefully we'll do this. Hopefully it'll stay nice and neat and everything. All right, so we've got that, and this should be large enough to fit cell phones in and whatnot, little things. So we've got, this is an iPhone 11. Most phones are about this size or maybe a little bit smaller. Not too many of them in the mainstream are bigger or noticeably bigger than the 11. So that fits in there, no problem. So that's an update to the tote bag process that I'm working out. I use the larger, newer machine that I've got to sew this up here. I did run into some issues sewing, but again, that's why this is the prototype, which just helps me with the construction method and speed. Hey, what's going on? Thanks for tapping in, Mr. Yates. I appreciate it. I really do. So you can't really tell on the bottom of the bag, but I did run into some issues on the machine so far as there it goes. So you can see on the right hand side of the screen, the stitch got a little wobbly there. it's because I didn't properly install the seam guide, and it got away from me. Um, and then stitching the the walls here, that was pretty straightforward. I knew I was going to run into problems stitching on the new machine on this portion of the bag because obviously they get stitched inside out. Um, it went pretty smooth for a bit, but um, I'll have to either figure out how to stitch from with the bag being on the right side of the needle as opposed to the left side of the needle and the presser foot. I've been stitching everything on the left side because it's easier to hold in the machine like that. And this bag with so much excess material, it just became problematic, especially stitching along the inside here. And but I got it knocked out, and right when I thought, hey, this is turning out okay, maybe I might give this one away or sell it at a big discount. I discovered I don't know how this got there, but there's a little nick right there, which is a weakening in the bag. I'm not sure how that got there because it's sewn in, on the leather, on the hide. Very tempted to just take it apart and then move the stitch line down here on both sides so that it's nice and even. It would make the bag a little bit narrower, but it'll be fixed. So, and if I can't fix it, then this will just stay in the shop, and it'll be one of those, hey, I learned my lesson, I won't do that again sort of trophies. I messed it up, so I won't mess it up next time sort of trophies. Those are the worst kind of trophies for your ego, but learning is learning, and if you have to keep a monument to your learning, then you keep a monument to your learning. So, and then the trip to the West Coast was ultimately not so bad. I did get some decent pictures. The only thing that I got for myself was a new watch band. That is this bad boy right here. For those of y'all who know, I'm a big watch fan, and Tudor as a company makes these really, really great watch bands because they use a combination of nylon for strength and silk for the comfort and the feel. And the method of construction, especially around the spring bars, is really, really different. And nobody else makes it like they do. I mean, I would understand why industry leaders wouldn't do it because they're infringing on their copyright. But I'm also surprised that other places from Eastern Europe or East Asia and Southeast Asia don't have reasonable knockoffs. They just haven't gone for it. And this is the only style that exists with materials that are even comparable. So I went and grabbed it up. I did like what I saw, so I might try to attempt to make some of this style for myself. I don't know if I can get away with making it in the same style and still sell it without getting sued. So nobody wants that. But okay, we are rolling up on 14 minutes. I want to wrap this up relatively quickly. I don't want this to be a long stream. It's certainly not going to be a build something informative sort of stream. Just a quick update and information about the prototypes and where I'm going with the bags before they're ready to sell. I think that's about it. Yeah. Once I do have a solid working prototype, I will be offering those for sale. I'll post them on Instagram. There'll be pictures up on the Etsy. Before you buy on Etsy, let me know what you want because there are more options available than what's listed, and I want for people to know what they can get. All right. Outside of that, thank you all very much. I appreciate it. And if you have any questions, comments, concerns, gripes, or grievances, go ahead and leave them in the comment section below. Or if you have any information or input or questions about the prototype for the bags, let me know. Again, this is version 2 where I have fixed the pocket here, and I have increased the production speed by using the machine, and I've identified issues that I'll run into so that those issues won't show up on the final production. So, but again, thank you all very much for rocking with me. Thank you all for tapping in. If you like what you saw, give me a like. If you're really digging it, go ahead and give me a follow/subscribe. I do a lot of giveaways. So, well, I don't know about a lot. I do give a bunch of giveaways. We'll say that. So hopefully you see something that you like. All right. I have officially gone well over 15 minutes. I'm going to wrap this up. Thank y'all very much. I appreciate every bit of support and all the uh, attention and everything that y'all are giving me. Something is always better than nothing, and everybody else here seems to have great insight and input, and I really appreciate it. Y'all are the best. I'm Jay Renard, and I'm out. Peace.